Hey, Amnesia here. Just wanted to make a quick video on some of the basics of trading in the market. So I play an iPad. The PC is going to look a little different from this, but if we head over to the market, what I want to show is what is a good trade for when you're trading down in ages. So if say you're trading future goods for tomorrow or HMA for early middle age, things like that. What's good and what's not a good, and how to kind of look through that. So first off, a lot of people have this concept of a fair trade, and you can even see it listed over here in the create offer of the market, fair trade. Now, fair trade, all it really means is that you're going from a higher age to a lower age at a rate of 2 to 1, right? And it's basically the max. So here I'm creating a trade, 100 algae for 200 nutrition research. That's 200 goods, 100 for 200. But it's also, that's the same, considered a fair trade if I did that for industrial. So really, it's not really fair in and of itself. It's just when I think of that 1 to 2 or 2 to 1 ratio, I think of it as the maxed rate. And so I try not to think of it as fair trade or not fair trade. I think, all right, what's the best rate you can get moving from one rate to another, and what's the worst rate you can get moving from one wage to the other. So essentially, the best rate you can get going down is this 1 to 2 in ages that are right next to us. So I think of that fair trade as being kind of a max rate when I'm moving down, but also a worst rate when I'm moving up, right? If I wanted to trade nutrition goods, for algae, right, I can get here 400 for 200, but I can also get 400, trade those 400 for any good as well, right? 400 for 200 golden seaweed. Those are vastly different, sort of ages of goods and your ability to kind of turn one back into another. So both of those, the system says are fair trades, but I would get rid of that in your mind, that concept of fair trading. So when I look at the market, I kind of look at the market, once or twice each day just to see what's out there. So the first thing I do, I click and see what I've got. That little green thumb, I'll look in my guild. The first thing I'm looking for are things that are kind of at a rate of 2.0, because again, that 2.0 means that you are trading down at the best possible ratio between two ages. And what I want to do is find things that are in adjacent ages. That's your best possible way of moving goods down, right? So in this case, it's tomorrow to Arctic future. That's 2 ages apart. It's kind of small. That's not really a great trade. Algae for Arctic future, 2 to 1, 2 to 2.0. That's technically good, but you're talking about 40 goods for 20 goods. That's a lot of FP to pay to get those trades. I'm going to pass on those. Looking down here, here's some 50s for 25. These are always good ones to get. I'm always looking for contemporary, so I might just go pay for that. And then you've got, here's some these are 2 different ages down. I'm not going to take those. Here's an interesting one, 1,000 Iron Age for 500 LMA. So that's 3 ages apart. So you can see, like, that's still considered a fair trade 2.0, but it's buying 1,000 limestone for 500 basalt, you might be able to get that for 500 EMA if you find the right person. So I'm gonna pass on that one. Here's a bunch of small trades. I'm not even gonna bother with things that cost 20. Now here's some that are interesting, right? So we've got a 200 colonial for 100 industrial, right? That's 1 age down, 200. I'm taking that. That's a good trade. The next one, 200 colonial for 100 progressive. Not gonna touch it. Now here's some interesting ones. 200 PME for 200 contemporary. Those are adjacent ages. So, this is a lot. I'm just going to go to town on this. These are all good. These are good. So, thrilled to find these this morning. And then let's go look at these. These are industrial for progressive. These are pretty good trades too. You can always kind of get I always kind of pick up good trades when you see them. I'm going to go get some more Forge points here. Go back to the market. As we're way down here. And let's go see where we were. Right, so there's all these ones for Coke. Grab them. This is a little boring. Sorry. All right, now here's some other good ones. Interesting. Arctic Future for OF. That's good. Jason Ages, 100. You know, I kind of think anytime I can get 100 goods, it's probably worth spending the Forge point. You know, for players that don't have many Forge points, you may want to, if you see an offer that's good, you may want to call, you know, send the person a message and say, hey, you know, John 205, can you do a bigger trade, right? Just save some Forge points, or kind of do the reverse offer back to them, and they may take it themselves, right? So here I'm going to just grab these. And now you see as you go down here, these are 1.8 ratios, 1.7. You know, so these are all things that are less than the max rate. So anyway, the other thing to look for when when I'm looking for trades is, you know, if there's a specific good that you want, just real quick, how do you go and look for that? Like, let's just say you want algae, right? Here's all the trades for algae. You can sort all the trades for algae and then start looking for what it'll cost you to do. And in some future videos, I'm going to walk through and say, well, how do you figure out what your, is this a good trade or a bad trade? The other thing that's interesting, you can also say, all right, what can I get for something that I have? Like, well, what can my nanoparticles, for example, get me? I can get 40 robots here. I can trade, across for that. I could get 200 OF, so that you can sometimes trading up, you can get things two ages up and then try to trade them back down. We're going to talk about those more later. But again, I think basically the most important thing is, one, understanding that 2.0 ratio isn't really fair trade. It's more like your max rate. You want to, at first, look for those 2.0 offers that are out there. And after that, you want to start looking for, if they're adjacent ages, just grab them, right? You can always just kind of stockpile goods and build up more to trade them down. If you are looking for something, just as a rule of thumb, a lot of people will actually trade down sort of 2 ages at that 2.0 rate. That's generally a fair exchange. A lot of times going from one age to the next, you might get 1 to 1.5 is kind of where the market actually will meet. Some ages are in higher demand. You can always get 2.0 trading down for the next age. But, if you're offering, say, future for tomorrow and you offer 200 for 300, that's almost always going to get accepted. That's a pretty fair trade, even though the max rate says 2.0. You're probably those trades at 2.0 are going to take a while to get filled. Someone's going to have to really want what you're offering to take it. Anyway, hope this is helpful. I'm going to post some more later. Bye.